Hey, how's it going, folks? We're further down the Cape now. Still gonna call this an undescribed location, although you can hear I'm not terribly far from the road. But what I've come down into, it's really incredible habitat. You got 3 species of orchid all in bloom right now. The genus of which all of them are in is Spiranthes. Specifically right now, we're looking at the most widespread in New England of the 3 species occurring here. This is Spiranthes, I'm going to butcher it, lacera. I'm not going to butcher it, haha. Spiranthes lacera, one of the ladies' tresses, and just like Platanthera, this is one of those really big, really species-rich genera of orchid here in New England. I think probably second only to Platanthera. And specifically, this is variety gracilis. Normally I don't get, too into the varieties with the orchids. I just kind of, or I don't get too into varieties in general, but with orchids, you can. And I happen to have it on good word that this is in fact a member of this subspecies. You can pretty much tell that from the lack of pubescence on this and, how dense these spirals are compared to, variety lacera or subspecies lacera, whatever it is. I'm a little bit bummed because there was supposed to be cool agalenus hanging out around here, but it does not seem to be here, at least not in bloom yet. But that's okay. We've got 3 species of orchid to contend with, and a nice thing about this whole endeavor today is I get to say one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite botanists that I watch, which is variations on a theme. All right, these are all in the same genus. These are all very closely related. Just a moment to talk about Spiranthes lacera. This, you'll note that it doesn't really have any basal leaves down there. It puts them out later in the season. As you can see, it's looks like it's starting to send one out now, and I guess those will persist through the winter. And unlike any other species of Spiranthes native to the region, it's got these lovely little green throats. You don't see that with other species, except for this one. Subfamily for the genus is Orchidoideae, so it's in the terrestrial orchid subfamily. A lot of these are kind of past prime. This guy's still going strong. You can see these flowers have a senesced, and these ones are still getting ready to go. So, we won't spend too terribly long here. This is your typical sort of, Cape Cod sand plain. The entire area is kind of just rimmed around by pines, junipers, tons of holly, and tons of greenbrier. So a lot of stuff that's not very fun to go through. But why don't I show you a couple more species of orchid, and then we can head home for the day. How about that? Okay, so we go from the only species of Spiranthes to have a little green lip, which is lacera, to the smallest species of Spiranthes. And unlike Spiranthes lacera, the next two, this one and the next one, basically the last one we're going to look at, these are pretty rare in New England, all right? These are basically restricted to Cape Cod, Rhode Island, and I think you get it on Long Island, and then it's much more prevalent down in the south. Appropriately named, this is the little ladies' tresses. Oh, you get a guy. So it's getting visited by insects. Try to get up in there, and I was a little bit confused. This is the one that produces flowers produces leaves after it blooms. The other, that Spiranthes lacera, just so happened to not have a leaf on it, but this guy gets little round leaves at the base in the winter when it's blooming. Considered to be, I guess, one of the more beautiful species of Spiranthes. Kind of a small bugger compared to, what's another common Spiranthes? Spiranthes cernua, for example, is pretty common and rather large compared to this one. Anything else to say about this? And again, it's part of its presumed rarity, much like Malaxis bayardii, which occurs not too far from here, has a lot to do with its diminutive stature. I guess this guy goes pretty far south from what I hear. Yeah, it's got that whole little jewel flower texture thing. Of course, you come back a ways, you can see guys are pretty hard to spot. Ironically, this was the first one I saw when I got out in the area and started looking around. But you know, like I said, we don't have to linger too long. I can make this a short one for you guys. Let's go see the last one. This is Spiranthes tuberosa, the small lady's tresses. If I didn't make that clear. All right, let's go see this other species. Yeah, I may have to apologize. I can't really find this third species, vernalis. Tons of lacera though, including this, you know, impressive specimen. That looks like will be going on for quite a while. And I guess these guys do have, you know, what you could consider cauline leaves. Not as strong of a smell as Spiranthes cernua, oddly enough. Yeah, Spiranthes is a cool genus in general. Sorry for a somewhat underwhelming episode. Good thing I stopped and I made an episode earlier today, which you can go back and see. But, yeah, the lacera is doing really, really well here. Really well. Kind of bummed doesn't have the same lovely smell that cernua has. Cernua is also quite a bit bigger than these things. Vernalis, which should have been here, is the more robust, you know, species in this area. But whatever. We still had a cool day. We still saw some great plants, and I at least got to meet a couple species of Spiranthes. And maybe I'll come back and I'll find that NEcology some other time. But I think we're going to wrap it up here. Hopefully you got at least something out of that. Couple of cool species of orchid. Also rare for, you know, orchids in general. These actually, there's no trick with these ones. These guys are giving nectar to the pollinators, which kind of ironically makes them a bit more interesting than other orchids. But yeah, 1.5 million species of Spiranthes, just like Platanthera. Both are in the Orchidoideae subfamily, and what can I say? I'm just kind of an orchid guy, you know? Love that green throat on this thing, though. This is a species that one of my friends has nearby, too. So, and with that, unless I can somehow find it in the next 2 minutes, Spiranthes vernalis, I'm going to get out of here. So, you know, of course, I had to come through and do one last pass just to make sure. And sure enough, as I was warned, it's, you know, on its way out. But, oh, what a cool little bug. Hi there, guy. Yeah, get in there, pollinate that thing. Sure enough, here it is, Spiranthes vernalis. And we can tell that Spiranthes vernalis and not either of the two other species, because this guy, unlike all the other guys, actually has some basal leaves on him, and he does indeed have the grass-like basal leaves. Bugs on me. And we can get up in those flowers, if we can. Hang on one second. And we can see that he's significantly larger than our other species. Lacks that green throat that lacera has, but instead has an overall kind of cream throat and a lighter green color to the overall plant. Plus he's a lot thicker. His flowers are a lot bigger than lacera or oh god, I'm gonna forget the other one now, aren't I? The little guy, the small lady's tresses, you know, that guy. Spiranthes lacera. Oh, tuberosa. You know, he's quite a bit larger than tuberosa or vernalis for that matter. Here's a vernalis right here, kind of wrapped up. And I mean, you can put the two side by side, and you can tell, you know, that vernalis is quite a bit bigger. Hang on, let me see if I can just, don't mind me. All right, well, you get the idea. I'm out of battery. I gotta go. And 3 species of Spiranthes, all growing in the same spot, all like in the same habits. And this one, like tuberosa, you're only gonna find it, you know, down here in southern New England. It's not a widespread species like lacera or cernua, which is not here. Cernua likes a little bit wetter conditions. In any case, that's about all I got. It's about all my camera battery is going to allow for, apparently. And I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Oh, there's a... Ooh. You're cool looking. You're so cool looking.